Right from the moment when the COVID-19 pandemic hit India in March 2020, tourism industry was instantaneously crippled, and since then, it has been hammered repeatedly by each wave as well as innumerable changes in rules across the country and even overseas. The travel agents, along with other stakeholders like hotels and airlines, have borne the brunt of the pandemic. Jyoti Mayal, President of the Travel Agents Association of India, the largest and oldest body of travel agents in the country, has been raising the problems being faced by the travel trade. In an interview with IOTV, Mayal, whose term as President of TAAI was recently extended, highlights the challenges of the industry.
So we've been campaigning a lot about that, and like I said, that's the first thing I told our Minister, Honourable Minister, yesterday. We've written to the Prime Minister, we've written to all concerned ministries. We are daily in the media, we are on the national TV, we are doing social media, and our emphasis is only on one thing: it's for the industry. We believe, and TAAI being the oldest nodal body established in 1951, we've only worked towards the betterment of the industry. And when I talk about the industry, I don't only relate it to my members, because everyone is going to benefit out of it. So I believe that we have to work in a collaborative manner, and air bubbles just need to finish off, and we need commercial flights to start business. Because unless outbound increases, inbound doesn't increase. And unless inbound increases, what is the use of infrastructure? What is the use of all these airports that are coming if they're not going to be utilized? And what is the use of investing in that if they're not going to be utilized? So I think seeing a long-term plan, we need to invest where we really need to, and see that more flights come in, more airlines start flying. I agree that there is a risk of COVID, but now what is the use of vaccination then if we are not going to still open? And I think because it's a pandemic, and pandemic means it's global. So when it is global, let all countries take one decision how the policies should be evolved. Yes, I agree there are going to be containment zones in every country. One can always cordon off those areas. But I think it's time that we work on coordinated policies so that the consumer doesn't get confused and actually doesn't bear the brunt of huge challenges of cancellations of tickets and having facing challenges of different protocols, when every country has a different protocol. In the last couple of months, I've only been advocating this. So, and the advocacy that's going around is, I had an interaction with Mr. Sindhya yesterday itself, and that's the first thing I told them. I asked him a very simple question, saying that we are 4,500 IATA agents in this country, and the 4,500 IATA agents, when they go to the Ministry of Tourism, they say, hey, you don't come under our purview. When they go to Ministry of Aviation, they say, hey, we don't know you. So are we orphans in this industry? And is anyone going to be responsible for us? Because we feel we are IATA agents, and we are a vital part of the tourism. We are a catalyst, actually fill the bellies and the seats. And somehow we are not being given credit for anything. So that's what I believe in, and that's what I've been saying since the time actually domestic tourism also started, because TAAI was a leader association to get the flight started, to get RT-PCR done, to get air bubbles done, and now we are fighting for beyond air bubbles and the commercial flights. So I would say that there should have been a collaborated and a coordinated way of working. Starting with the domestic, we got all the money literally back from the domestic. Some is still pending, but I'm sure that will happen. I'm sorry to say that the biggest challenge was our own national carrier, but actually we are not here as financiers for any airline, and we are not here in the business of finance. If we had a lot of finance, we would have opened our own airline, So we are in the business of transacting business and making money. So I think but now a lot of airlines have started. We are still facing challenges with certain airlines because they have gone into liquidity, or they are still under the guidance of their own governments, but we are reaching there. I'm sure we will be able to get the money, but we don't know about the future. We don't know when any airline is just going to go bankrupt, and they are all actually struggling to survive. When an airline goes belly up, we don't know whom to go to. And we've seen that happening over the years. And that's what I believe, that we should be on the task force of the Ministry of Aviation, sitting with the airlines to give our views, so there's a collaborated way and the consumer doesn't suffer. I want to say that when the airlines come into this country, I'm talking about international now, there should be a way to protect the money of our agents and the consumer in demand. We are actually allowing the international airlines to take away and hard-earned tax-paid money of our customer, and they run away with it with no way to protect the agents or them. So I think it's a need of the hour for the ministry to come up with a system where the money is kept in an escrow account or insurance on a ticket, and we've been talking about that with the ministry and all the government bodies concerned. We are very hopeful that something will come out of it after so much of dedicated talk with them. See, there's a lot of, I don't have the exact numbers, and I'll say that because I feel the more and more the agents are going to open back, will we actually come to reality. Because still a lot of people are working from home. And when you see them working from home, they are not very sure are they wanting to get back into business, because right now they are still seeing a lull in the business. They are not seeing commercial flights open, especially people who are only into international. A lot of people have taken that opportunity because we've been actually doing Dekho Apna Desh with Ministry of Tourism. We have been doing a lot of work with Ministry of Tourism, and we were working very closely. We have given them a lot of domestic opportunities. So a lot of our members, because they already had staff, had diverted to domestic tourism, which is a very good thing. And I think they should always encourage that part, because anything happens globally, but this will always be there to stay. So they should be there. So our members have diverted and they have used these opportunities. But yes, like you said, we'll only come to know the exact number once the whole world opens.